Hey everybody, and welcome to another update video. Now for this section we're going to be looking at my rest of my horror collection. This is more the thrillers and the psychological type stuff, leading into the ransom type / bank robbery type movies close to the end. So let's get straight to it and let's see what you think and showing more of my collection. We have start with the Scream trilogy, of course. Scream 1, 2 and 3, fantastic, and this nice little snazzy little booklet. I'll show you more detail of that. Really fantastic movies. I really love the Scream movies. I've watched them since I was young and I really like how they were presented and how they were shown. Really fantastic 90s movie. It just kind of sets horror movies to a new level and shows what they could be, and I think a lot of the movies since then have tried to copy it and try and take on board what this movies have done in that sense. I think Wes Craven have done a really fantastic job making these movies, apart from the third one, if I remember correctly. He didn't do the third one, but really fantastic movie. Scream 1, 2, 3 are all good. Third one's probably the weakest out of all 4 movies, I have to say, but still quite good. It's only because the writing was a little different and it just did something. It wasn't as strong as the first 2, I don't think. But first one is my personal favourite. Second one, my second favourite. Fourth is my third, and the third is the last. I get that kind of reference there. And of course, I have Scream 4. Actually, quite surprising. When I first heard about it, I was disappointed I was a 15. I thought, it's going to be edited to crap, it's not going to be as good. I went to watch the cinemas. Yeah, it's more violent than the entire trilogy, which is a fucking 18. It's more violent than the first one. The first one is really violent. I was genuinely surprised the level of violence in this movie. I really was, and I really like the fourth one. I think it works really well, and I think it plays on that same theme of the first, I think 10 minutes takes the piss out of sequels, remakes and prequels and all these other movies, and the fact that audiences kind of know what's coming, or the fact of milking franchises, and it kind of recognises those type of movie making techniques, and I like the fact that it does, and that makes it more better to watch. And it's a really fantastic movie, the fourth one. It brings back all the characters and puts them in the same situation again, and it's great. Seeing these characters is fantastic, and I like all 3 movies. First one, I think, is my personal favourite. Just did something with so many quotes, and of course, second one, Timothy Oldham, fantastic, and it's great. I love all the Scream movies, fantastic, really good. Next we have Misery, another Stephen King adaptation. Really fantastic movie, really dark and psychological. From about a session over a famous writer who's basically had a car crash, and she's my #1 fan. Yeah, she's fucking nuts. She's definitely really insane in that movie. That's why it's an 18 certificate. She goes really far, and it's really fantastic, dark, psychological, and he's really scared for his life. He really needs to get the fuck out of there, but he can't because he's injured. Situation type movies. Now we have the teen version of Misery. We have The Loved Ones. This is an Australian film, independent film, which has got a re-release at Universal, which I think is getting a cinema release in America soon, which is quite interesting. From going to an independent film straight to be picked up for a cinema release, and I'm guessing probably have a re-release on DVD and Blu-ray, maybe with new extras. That'd be good. But really fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it, and it did something a little different. It had the same kind of feel, that kind of insane type feel to it, but it added something. I think the cinematography is fantastic in that. Considering its first feature film, did a really fantastic job writing it, kind of directing it as well, and just great cast also. And, yep, that one's fantastic. Next we have Martyrs, one of my favourite French horror films, and boy, the French can do their horrors. Martyrs, another fantastic type of situation type movie. This has, as I like to call it, 3 acts. first act is more about the actual characters and the situations and who they are and kind of past traumas they've had. Second half goes into a bit more of a hostile type violence type feel, which I will point out this is extremely violent, so if you don't like violence or a bit squeamish, then yeah, you're not going to like it. But there is a reason for it, kind of thing, so you kind of think it's one thing, but it's actually another, and then when you find out the actual reveal at the end, blown away by how actually good the actual ending is. So I definitely recommend Martyrs. They are doing an American remake, which I'm not looking forward to, considering I've read that he's actually changing the ending because it's not as good as he liked it, which is bullshit because the ending's the best part of the fucking movie. So, but hey, I've got the original, so yeah, I'm not interested in the remake in the slightest. So if you're for a good violent French horror film with a good twist, definitely recommend Martyrs. Fantastic. I have number 23. That's the Jim Carrey really psychological film. That's the uncut version and the theatrical version with all the extras. Quite enjoyed it, to be honest. It's more of a drama than it is anything else, but it's got some really interesting ideas, and the idea of a session over a simple number like 23. it's quite. Yeah, so it's one of Jim Carrey's more serious films. If you want to see it in a more serious light, check out number 23 and Truman Show. It's probably one of his best works, non-comedy type work. Really fantastic movie. It's not for everyone. A lot of people did not like it or find it was boring, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I think it was good. Well done movie. It's number 23. Next we have American Psycho. Christian Bale was one of his early movies. Really fantastic film. This film actually scared me when I was younger. It's one of the first horror movies that really scared me and really, shit my pants kind of thing. No, I did literally shit my pants, but it was that kind of effective horror, and it just did something very creative, and it was very open as well, and just the idea of that he was this type of perfect serial killer and he could kill anyone he wants and have sex with anyone he wants and use drugs, and just he was this type of person that could just get away with anything, and just I like the idea of that, and just this ego kind of thing, but the ending, absolutely fantastic. You would not expect the ending if you have not seen it or no one's told you about it. Then simply go and watch it, see what you think. The ending is about interpretation. It's quite clear interpretation, but you will love the ending. The ending's really fantastic, and it's dark, very dark. Next we have The Hitcher. This is the Tudor Special Edition. I prefer this, of course, to the Tower remake. Now, what the original does better is the fact that it's about characters, for one, and it's about how these characters deal in the situation. He is just simply this character called Ryder. He's a nutter. That is it. That it's that black and white. He's a nutter. He is just killing anyone he wants, and he's basically this kid kind of challenges him, and he's just in a bad situation. He wants to get out, and he's just basically killing everyone in his path, and he's just tracking him down, and that is just the storyline. But it is really it works really well, and I think the horror elements are fantastic, and it's a bit of a chase movie in the sense of him trying to chase him down, and he's just both characters, and the actual teen character in it, which actually is a good teen character, really fantastic actor. Just something really well, and there's a lot of cinematography is fantastic. The car chase scenes are fantastic, and the ending's really good as well. It's a nice ending to the film, and there's a lot of scenes where you're thinking, wow, this is actually a really violent film, but it actually isn't. It's against suggestions. You think you've seen it in your head, but you actually haven't. It's only as violent as how you see it as, and that's what I like about the movie. The remake takes all that suggestions and basically actually show you it, which makes it a shit movie, because it just shows you, what you don't really want to see. It shows you the violence that was never intended in the movie, because that was the whole point. It had a hidden message of just, it's only as violent as how you make it to be in your head, kind of thing, and that's what I like about it. And they explain that in the extras. That's the technique of the film. The remake just does the opposite. So I recommend the original and the original only. We have Shallow Grave, Danny Boyle, one of his psychological early films, Christopher Eccleston and Ian McGregor. Fantastic film. It's about 3 friends. It's how it basically shows how greed is the main theme of that movie, about how much money can affect your lives, and how these 3 characters kind of turn each other and kind of manipulate each other, and just they change as people, and just they want the money, and they just become selfish and greedy and a bit psychotic in some cases. Really fantastic. Definitely recommend this movie. You'll probably enjoy it. Classic British film 4 type movie. Special. This is the special edition, Blu-Ray special edition. Some new extras. Fantastic. Next we have Thelma and Louise. This is the special edition. Pretty fantastic movie. I don't really need to say much on that because everyone knows how good this movie is. Again, kind of cat and mouse type thriller, and it works really, really well. This is more of a thriller than it is a horror, but it works really, really well, and I like the characters, and yeah, it's just one of those really good movies. Next we have Eden Lake. This is British horror. Same director as The Descent, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% on that, but I think it is. Let's take a look. No, it's from the director and writer of My Little Eye. My mistake. That's a really good film, fantastic film as well. I definitely like to check it out. This is one of those really British films. It's about basically a bunch of teens out of control, and basically just it turns nasty, and they start killing these 2 people. They start stalking and kill this 2 couple. Just on a weekend getaway kind of thing, and it's that kind of dilemma in the sense of it's one of those message films that's showing how bad is our values going in British life. We're letting teens get away with pretty much murder, and it's pretty nasty in all fairness. There's a scene where Michael Fassbender is getting annoyed because these teens are playing loud music, and he just goes over to ask them to turn it down, just to show a little respect, and they're just giving him lip, and he's saying piss off and all that stuff, and it turns from there quite nasty, and then they steal his car, and it just goes from there, and it's really effective horror, and it's quite dark as well, and 18. There's a reason for it's been 18. One of the classic British film. I think the ending's really dark as well, and I think, whoa, that is not a nice way to end the movie in a sentence. This is from the creator of Saw. This is purely just a revenge movie. It's more revenge than there's a horror, but it is quite violent in a sense. Kevin Bacon is absolutely fantastic in that movie. Kevin Bacon is Kevin Bacon. He can play a really great role if he wants to, and he does. He plays this ordinary guy. He gets caught up in a situation, and his son's been killed by a bunch of gang members, and he just wants revenge, and revenge gets out of hand, and he just ends up going on this personal vendetta against them, and it's really fantastic. It's just done right. The dialogue's fantastic, and the director Saw himself. It's another one of his fantastic movies. Of course, he did Insidious as well, and he did Dead Silence, and he's a really gifted director, and he can really make his movies well. So good stuff. Next we have Harry Brown. Michael Caine shooting up chavs. What more do you want? Another British film, kind of like Eden Lake in a sense, of like message and values, talking about how we need to kind of change our society because teens are just going wild and teen crime is rising, and it's another one of those movies, and really, really fantastic. I really enjoy it. I've kind of been put off a little lately about it because I've done my film studies exam based upon it, so I'm kind of seen that movie quite a few times by now, so I've been watching it for a while. So yeah, that's one to talk about. I compare that with Lock, Stock, so interesting little debate in the film exam. Next we have Phone Booth. That's Colin Farrell, independent Colin Farrell and Kiefer Sutherland, and really fantastic cast, really fantastic movie. Set pretty much in one location, obviously a phone booth, and Colin Farrell he's basically he wants him to confess his sins. Basically, he's a guy, he's been following him, he's tracking him, and he knows everything about him, and he wants him to do this and this and this, or otherwise he's gonna pump a bullet. He's got a sniper rifle up in the towers, and he's just gonna shoot him there and there, and he doesn't care. He's got a chance to kind of redeem himself, and the loved ones around him, and that's what the movie's about. It's Colin Farrell in a situation, the character changes from being a cocky person to a person which is like willing to sacrifice himself, and it's fantastic. Kiefer Sutherland's narration voicing is absolutely fantastic, and I like the cops, I like the music, and I like the style it's done, and really fantastic one-off movie. One of the best of psychological movies. Fantastic, really enjoyable. Next we have A Law-Abiding Citizen. Similar type of a movie, going against the system, Jamie Foxx and all that, and basically this character, he loses his family, his wife and daughter in a home robbery, and basically the main criminal gets away with it, and the other one gets basically put away in life, lethal injection. He can't stand the fact that one got away and the one got put in prison, the other one didn't, and he goes on a personal vendetta against the people that killed his family, and he goes against the system. Pretty much the system is wrong and it's corrupt and it doesn't work, and he just lets criminals go pretty much on stupid life sentences and stuff, and that's what the movie's about. It's just about him going against the system, and it works really, really well. And it's got that kind of Saw element to it, and it's a relatable character. It's a kind of a character you feel sorry for, and you think, wow, he's really pissed. And it's a pretty awesome movie, and I really like it. It's great acting. It's got some great twists, and it's just done really, really well and fantastic. I recommend it. It's one of those underrated horror movies, definitely. A lot of people didn't like it. I really enjoyed it, so I'm not going to argue. Now moving on, we have Untraceable. This is a kind of a similar kind of deal. This is kind of an internet killing, basically. You kill with me website, click on this website, and basically you kill this person with them, and depending on how many views you get on the actual official site, depends on how fast the victim dies faster. That's what it is. It's another one of those message and value movies, which is basically showing how insane the internet and how publicly aware the internet has become, and just how deaths are being treated and how things are just looked up, on the internet so much, and he's not the actual killer. He's not a killer. He's allowing the viewers to kill them with him, and it's just that kind of message, and it's really fantastic. FBI is involved as well, and they're kind of tracking him down, and it's got that kind of modern day internet kind of theme to it, which I really like. I really appreciate. So yeah, fantastic movie, Untraceable.